So we're going to start. We're going to take some questions from homeworks, if anybody has those. 2, we're going to talk about the test and the test format. 3, we're going to talk about your half sheet that you can have notes that you can make for the test. And then 4, I'm going to release you guys to work on your half sheet and/or review guide, whatever you want to start on. Sound good? Okay. Joey, was that a hand for questions?
I was just asking for a test on Wednesday.
That's the plan, man. Yes, sir. Other questions for homeworks and whatnots? Okie dokie. So test format is here in the content library. So we have 14 total questions. I suggest to you that if you look at the last page on your review, those will be the same formulas that I will give you on the test. But you should be able to convert from radians to degrees or degrees from radians. You should be able to solve for arc length, radius, or central angle, given 2 of the 3. Be able to use SOHCAHTOA to write the 6 trig ratios, given a right triangle. Given 1 trig ratio, use SOHCAHTOA to write the other 5. Given a point on the terminal side of a standard position angle, write the 6 trig ratios. Given 1 trig ratio and the sine of a second trig ratio, write the other 5, and then use the unit circle to find exact values of trig functions. If we go and we look at the review, the questions on the review are going to be very similar, right? Convert from degrees to radians or vice versa. You know, find the missing value. Again, find the missing value. Here's some right triangles. Use SOHCAHTOA. Here's some right triangles. Use SOHCAHTOA. Here's a single trig function. You know, find the other 5. Here's some coterminal stuff. Here's a point on a standard position, or the terminal side of a standard position angle. Here's some unit circle. Here's some given a trig function and the sine of another. Blah, 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 blah. Cool there. So again, matches pretty closely in format the kinds of things I'm going to be asking you to do. Now, as mentioned on our syllabus, for each test, every student is eligible to make a note card that they can use on the test. That note card can be a half sheet of paper, standard, 7.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You write on both sides of it, put anything you want on it. For this test, I'm going to talk about like some recommendations from my point of view of things that you definitely want to have on there. For me, I would want to first start by collecting the things that I don't want to have to memorize. So formulas like a conversion factor go from degrees to radians or radians to degrees. Maybe our reciprocal definitions for cosecant, secant, and cotangent, like which one is 1 over sine, which one is 1 over cosine. The arc length formula, but specifically knowing what S, R, and theta represent. Seemed like on the homework quizzes that was a little bit shaky for some of us. Although we had the formula there, we didn't know what to plug into where. And then you'll definitely want the 3 separate definitions for sine, cosine, etc. So you have the right triangle definition. That's SOHCAHTOA. You have the point on the terminal side of your standard position angle definition. So sine is y over r, cosine is x over r, etc. And I put down an extra note that r squared is equal to x squared plus y squared. And then our unit circle definition. So sine theta is y, cosine theta is x, etc. At a minimum, you'd probably want those definitions on your note card. Past that, anything additional that you want to put on there could be example problems. You know, if you want the all silly turtles crawl thing on there, that might not be bad. But it's up to you. Now, to be eligible to use that note card, I have to have it today. Okay? And you have to be present on the test day. So if you're absent on the test day or if you miss the test day, you're ineligible to use the note card. Yes?
You have to turn the note card in by the end of this semester.
Today. I'd like it today. Okay? Any questions about that? Okay. I'm going to be done talking and let you guys start to work. If you want to work together and making note cards, if you want to compare with your neighbor, that is all totally fine. You know, if you want somebody to look over this and be like, hey, did I miss anything or whatever, like, totally fine. You know, if you want to work collaboratively, that is okay. Today is a day to kind of, for you guys to get prepared, start collecting together the stuff that you need to know or want to make sure. The one last thing I will say is that I did my homework check this morning, so you may want to go through and look at your My Notre Dame if you thought you had something turned in but I marked it as missing or incomplete or whatever, that maybe we can get that straightened out before you leave today. But I'll have the next, you know, like 120 minutes or 110 minutes or whatever is left in, I don't know, not 120 minutes. It's not 2-hour blocks. But the next 70 minutes or so of class, you guys have free reign on getting caught up on or getting your half sheet together, working on your review or whatever else. And again, the review is in the OneNote. Typically, I don't print these out to hand to you, but if you finish your half sheet or whatever and you're like, I want to print this out to do on it, it's fine. No big deal. Just let me know. Share your half sheet with somebody else, the other half, so we don't have to, you know, or hang on to it for later. You know, if you're like, I don't share. It's like, okay, well, don't throw it away. Just hang on to it for next time. And I have scissors up here if you're like, I need scissors and straight lines, if you're a straight lines person. And make sure you put your name on your half sheet, right? Start with that, you know. You'd be surprised at how often I get a no-named half sheet. You laugh, it happens all the time, guys. It happens all the time. Okie doke. All right, I'm going to get out of your way.